What's up? This is Altark here. So I have been using this Magene PES 505 spider-based power meter for a few months now, and I have to say, this thing has been rock solid. Now, there are plenty of good power meters on the market, but what really sets this Magene PES 505 apart is its price. It is only $300, so it is much more affordable than most options out there. And Magene also offers a higher end version, the QED 505, which costs about $500. And the main difference between the two, the QED model and the PES model, is the QED 505 measures power with a 1% accuracy, while this one measures power with 1.5% accuracy. So the PES 505 has a 24mm spindle, so it is compatible with Shimano bottom brackets. So if you have a Shimano group set, installation is as simple as swapping out your old crankset and replacing it with the Magene PES 505. And this power meter measures both power and cadence and broadcasts via ANT Plus and Bluetooth. And according to Magene, it measures power with 1.5% accuracy. It also gives you left-right power balance and pedal smoothness. And plus, it features automatic calibration and active temperature compensation, so it adjusts to different conditions, different temperatures without you needing to fuss with anything. And the battery is rechargeable, and Magene claims it lasts up to 200 hours. I've only had this power meters for a few months, and I charged it when I first installed it on my bike, and I used it for a few months, and it's still going strong. And this power meter is IPX7 waterproof, which means it can handle rain without any issues. You can also get the options to choose from 5 different crank lengths, ranging from 165mm to 175mm. And if you do not want to bother swapping out your chainring, you can buy one directly from Magene for an extra $74. So I went with the chainring option because I honestly did not want to bother with the hassle of switching mine out. Okay, the Q factor is 147mm, which is pretty standard for a road bike. As for weight, the power meter comes in at 782 grams with the 172mm crank arm and 5236 Shimano rings. Once you install the power meter, you'll need to activate it using the Magene utility app, and the app allows you to calibrate the power meter, adjust power scaling, check for firmwares, and much more. So I have ridden with this power meter in all sorts of conditions: indoors, outdoors, on sunny days and beautiful days, and even in heavy rains for over 2 hours. It really started raining about 15 minutes into my ride, and it just kept raining nonstop for the rest of the ride. And I have also tested it in a range of temperatures from 75 degrees Fahrenheit to 45 degrees. And through all of that, the power meter has been consistently reliable. Now, let's dive into the actual ride data, because at the end of the day, that's what really matters in this review. Okay, let's start with an indoor ride to just set a baseline. And this ride gave me the chance to test the Magene 505 against 2 other power meters that have been consistently accurate for me and reliable. It is also the first ride that I did right after installing the Magene power meter. And as you can see, the numbers are rock solid overall. I had the Psych Plus T3 Smart Trainer, which I think is pretty darn good when it comes to power measurement, along with my Wahoo PowerLink pedals and the Magene crank all running. And there was a tiny spike here from Magene at one point, but for the most part, the measurements were consistent across the board. On another indoor ride, I noticed that the Wahoo PowerLink was slightly off at the beginning of this ride, but after stopping and recalibrating everything, it was smooth sailing from there. I did a couple of sprints towards the end, and again, the power readings were very solid. Okay, moving outside. Here's a 3-hour ride that I did on normal conditions, beautiful sunny day, and again, the Magene and Wahoo PowerLink were reading nearly identical numbers. There were the usual small deviations here and there, but overall the P505 was consistently accurate throughout the ride. Even when we zoom in on the left-right power measurement for a specific section here, the averages were only a few watts apart. Now, it is important to note that the Magene power meter does not provide true left side power meter measurement like the Wahoo PowerLink. It estimates it, But even with that, the accuracy was still impressive. Okay, for the final ride that I want to highlight, the bike had been stored indoors in a 75-degree temperature, while outside the temperature was in the low 40s. So let's zoom in on the last 40 minutes of this ride. The average power, as you see here, 173 watts. So again, both the Magene and PowerLink were measuring almost identical numbers. It does not get much better than that in terms of consistency. As far as cadence, it's super solid and it measures very well. So overall, the Magene 505 is just a solid power meter, and let me tell you, there is nothing that I dread more than testing power meters. It's always a bit of a guessing game. One day numbers line up perfectly, and the next day nothing matches. Then you start to second guess everything. Did I torque it right? Should I calibrate it differently? Is the firmware up to date? Or did I just eat too many Nutella cookies before the ride? It's just a constant back and forth battle. And honestly, I can probably count the number of power meters that I fully trust on one hand, maybe two. But the Magene 505 is definitely going to be on that list. It was super easy to install and worked right out of the box. And to be honest, I was surprised. I mean, a $300 power meter, I was not expecting much, but it proved me wrong. They've managed to bring a competitive product to a market at a price point that's hard to beat without sacrificing key features like still has ANT+ and Bluetooth compatibility, left-right power data, auto calibration, temperature compensation, firmware update over the air, and accuracy. For $300, you are getting a reliable, well-rounded power meter that competes with models costing twice as much. So if you have a Shimano group set on your bike and you are in the market for a power meter, I would definitely recommend giving the Magene 505 a look. I'm definitely impressed and would not hesitate to recommend it. There you have it, folks. Thanks for watching, and if you find this video helpful, feel free to share it with others, and do not forget to tap the like button. And if you're still watching but have not subscribed yet, you know what to do. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next video.